And so the secret to getting bigger forearms anywhere is going to require that you focus your attention in one spot, and that's right there. What's up, guys? Chef Cavalier, ATHLEAN-X.com. If you want complete arm development, you're going to have to train your forearms. And I've shown you many ways that you can do this before, whether you have access to a pull-up bar, some dumbbells, a barbell, or even a plate. But what if you have access to none of those things and still want to work your forearms?
Oh, I know what I do, but I guess if that worked, I'd have massive forearms by now.
No, actually, Jesse, that would just give you a bunch of muscle imbalances. What I'm going to show them instead is 3 exercises they could do with just their own body weight, and 3 they could do with just a single backpack. So if you want to build bigger forearms anywhere, you're going to need one of these. It's a muscle marker. Well, actually, you're not going to need it, but what it's going to do is it's going to help me to illustrate what you should be focused on, because this is a bodyweight exercise that's going to help you to build bigger forearms. What we do is we take that muscle marker and we draw a line right there across our knuckles. And this is something that was actually shown to me by Team USA Olympic gymnast Jonathan Horton. All right, so how do you do this? Well, with my hands here, what I have to do is focus on getting a bend through that portion of my hand. So I'm going to push down through my hand that way. But what you can see is what's happening at the wrist. It's going from an extended position here to a neutral position when I do that, just by pushing through that line of my hand. And of course, I want to have my body weight over the top of my hands. So as I do this, I'm having to push through and against the resistance of my body weight to get up in that position. Again, resisted flexion here is resisted flexion here for the forearm. What we can do, though, if this is too much for you, is just sort of sit back a little bit more. So don't be right up over the top, but sit back. When I sit back, I take some of the weight off. But again, I keep my fingers down, and I push through the wrist right at that point, and we work the flexors on this side of the forearm. Now, that's only working this side of the forearm, but what about this side? Well, we got an exercise we can do there, too, and it's another one that was shown to me by Jonathan, the gymnast. So what we do is we take the muscle marker, instead of keeping a line here, now our focus is right here. And what we're going to do is just basically put a dot on the 4 knuckles right at the top there. Now, we know in order to get into this side of the forearm here, we need to extend the wrist. So we have to start from a flexed position. Now, what we would do is get down in this position here. Now, if you don't have this much range of motion at your wrist, I'm going to show you something you could do that's not as dramatic in terms of the requirements for range of motion, but it shouldn't hurt. And you certainly need to take this very slow. So what you do is you get in this position here, and all I'm going to do is come up, extend, and try to lift up through my fingers. Basically, I'm trying to spread my fingers into the floor. All right? But of course, with some of my downward body weight here, it's going to be resisted, so I won't be able to get that far. But once I get up to there, you can see I can see the dots on the back of my fingers here, which means I've gotten where I need to go. I go down nice and slow. Eccentrically, every rep here is controlled. I have the ability to actually offload some of this weight that I am applying here, because I can either sit up higher or I can sit down more into it. But again, as it feels a little bit more challenging to me, I can just simply sit up a little bit off of my butt, which is going to take some of that tension away. But again, I go nice and slow down into this flexed wrist position, push down into the floor. I'm extending. You can see the wrist extending here, working the back side of the forearm. Extend, push through the fingers, try to spread them through the floor. I can see the dots that I made on the back of my hands there, meaning I've gone through the full range of motion, and it will light up those extensors in the back side of your forearm. Now, these exercises have you excited to try them out, or if you've already paused the video and tried them out already, make sure you leave your comment below. Let me know how you like them. Also, if you haven't done so, guys, make sure you click subscribe and turn on your notifications. That being said, I still got a few more to show you. So if you're looking for more forearm exercises that you can do anywhere, I'm going to ask that you broaden your horizons a little bit and get one of these. You've now got something you can do anywhere. All we have to do is zip it up, and then, of course, grab the handle from the back. And the first thing I like to do is just a simple reverse curl. So keeping my arm here at the side, I'm going to lift up and come down. This works the brachioradialis, the muscle that kind of pops out right in here. And again, with the forearm pronated here and the thumb in a thumbless grip, I'm really focusing on getting my arm into this flexed position, which is going to hit the brachioradialis, but also keeping this extended position or slightly extended position here to make sure I'm working all the muscles there on the back of the wrist. And of course, I don't have to stop there, because I can do my classic wrist curls too, both underhand and overhand. And what we do is we simply rest our forearm up on our thigh like this. I put my heel up in the air to give me a little bit more height, which clears the bag off of the ground. And now I do my wrist curls up just like this, like you typically would do with a dumbbell. Again, no dumbbell required here. Nothing stopping me from flipping it over this way now and also working the other side of my forearm here, the extensors. Once again, keeping that heel up in the air to give you just a little bit of extra added height to make sure that that bag clears nice and freely. And if you really want to expand your repertoire of forearm exercises, just jump up on one of these. We know that the dead arm hang is one of the best forearm exercises you could do for building up the endurance and also a little bit of that mental toughness, because this could be a ball buster depending upon how long you hold it here for. That being said, I did commit to exercises you could do anywhere. Well, it's almost anywhere, because we know that you can grab a tree limb and do the exact same thing for the same benefits. The bottom line is, if you're looking for complete arm development, forearm training better be part of the plan. As you can see here, a lack of equipment is never going to be a reason not to. So remember, guys, there's a lot of ways to train your forearms.
Yes,
but
there sure are.
Real ways to train your forearms, whether you're using equipment or you're not, the bottom line is, if you want complete arm development, like I said, you're going to have to train your forearms one way or another. If you're looking for a complete step-by-step training program, you can get them over at ATHLEAN-X.com. If you found the video helpful, if you're going to try these out, let me know how you like them. You can leave your comments below, and also, if you haven't done so, make sure you click subscribe and turn on your notifications so you never miss a new video when we put one out.
Hey, figure we'd hang out together.
Oh,
Get
God.
it? Hang out.
That's my cue to
together.
leave. That's my cue. See you.